What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Killer Keemstar, and I'm here with...
So Close to Blade.
This is the BadKidCast, the audio cast that you listen to.
While you game or do anything else.
We're available on YouTube, iTunes, and Android. And episode 54 has been brought to you by GoodAtStudios.us. It's a community of positive networking between aspiring writers, bloggers, podcasters, anybody that really is like big on the internet talent. You guys have to check this out. It's a really cool network, and if you have skills on the internet, if you're a person that has a fan base here on the internet, it's a nice little network that you can be a part of. So make sure you check that out.
And our final sponsor for the evening for this lovely Bad Kid Cast is the YouTube channel, which is Briar Rabbit Channel. It is primarily assortment of video game relating entertainment. They specialize in Call of Duty videos, overall douchebaggery, gaming hardware news, and overall great amazing channel. So definitely check them out. Briar Rabbit Channel on YouTube.
Lighthearted douchebaggery.
Lighthearted douchebaggery. I wanted to make sure that we represented our lovely sponsors in the best light possible.
I totally am really interested in checking out that channel now. Now I want to know what's going on.
The lighthearted douchebaggery is
like
what caught your attention?
That's what sold me. That's what sold me. And this other website with the content creators and stuff and bloggers and stuff, I really want to see who's a part of that crew because I bet they have some really talented people. But guys, make sure you check out those links. They're in the description. You ready to start this fucking show?
Let's get it going.
Boom. And we're back.
Woo!
Who do we have as a guest?
Well, he needs no introduction, but I'll do it. So Close to Toast.
Let's hear it.
What's good? Bad Kid Cast.
What?
Has any girl ever said, "Can you do that while I sit on your face"?
Only online, but never like in person or anything like that.
Really? You don't just like go to Subway and be like, "Let me get a number 2."
Have you ever done anything in the drive-thru? Because I think that would be hilarious.
There's been a couple times back in high school where we just kind of like messed around and did something like that, but never recorded it.
Talking to the cops like that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a So Close to Toast drive-thru episode where he goes to the drive-thru and he's just like, I want a double Big Mac.
Even though that'd be awesome, I think that a lot of people have done that where they do raps and they do all kinds of crazy stuff through the drive-thru. Not saying that it wouldn't be epic. I'm just saying it's been done.
But think about that. If you worked at McDonald's, right, that would be the highlight of the day. Like when you see people doing pranks at drive-thrus, for the most part, the people are like, "Yay!" You know,
excitement.
I get to forget that I'm making like no money per hour.
You see that thing where they say that if that across the country, there's only like 2 states in the country where minimum wage can afford you a 2-bedroom apartment.
Where?
I don't know. They just said like 98% of places it doesn't allow you to do it.
That's insane.
Just if you work full time at a job making minimum wage, you can't even afford to live.
Is that why Mexicans and stuff like all room up and have? Is that where that comes from? Well, what? I'm not being like, you know, racist or anything. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, Mexicans do jobs that Americans aren't willing to do, which sounds kind of fucked up on both sides of the thing.
Yeah, but there's like a saying or something that, like, you know, X amount of, you know, Mexicans live in a house or whatever.
What saying is that?
I don't know.
I've never heard that.
What technical racist study is this?
I don't know. I just know that there were some Mexicans that like worked on a farm near like my house growing up, and there was like 15 of them, and they all lived in like a 2-bedroom apartment.
Shit, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Family stick together, maybe? I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyhow,
Any hoozle.
so there was this
Fucking brain freeze.
there was this Russell Brand interview. Toast, did you get a chance to see it yet or not?
I've watched like a couple minutes of it so far, so I kind of get the idea of what's going on.
So crazy. What's going on right
I
now?
got a fucking brain freeze from this ice cap.
You know why that happens, right?
Why?
The ice and stuff gets in the back and like the top of your mouth, and it like clinches on the palate, and it like does something to a nerve.
Well, I don't understand about that is like if you're drinking like a cold drink or you're eating ice cream or whatever, you'll get a brain freeze, and you'll wait until the pain is at about half. You're still in pain, and then you'll continue to eat it.
Because you want it to taste so good.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never met anybody that doesn't like ice cream. Who's like, oh fuck ice cream? You know what I mean? Like ice cream is like awesome.
Yeah. People have lactose intolerant or whatever. I'm sure they can't do ice
That
cream.
must suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if you're like a vegetarian or something like that by choice. It's like whenever I hear that, I'm like, whatever, okay, you're missing out. Like, why live like that? But like, if you can't, like, dairy's bomb, and ice cream is bomb. Like all that stuff, like dairy, lactose stuff is good. So it would suck not to be able to eat that. They probably like it, but they just get violently sick if they eat it.
There was a study out where people that were lactose intolerant were like trying raw milk, like straight from the cow, and they weren't allergic to it or whatever. Like they could drink it. So it has to do with something in the processing. And I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of the reason why people have a lot of allergies is because of the way they process the food. It's not necessarily the food itself in its raw sense. But
so how long is this Russell Brand thing?
It's pretty long, but dude, it's good. It's good. I
All
want
right,
to
how
get
about
into
this?
it.
Well, let's play, and if there's any slow parts, can we edit it out of the show?
Oh, there's no slow parts. There's
Okay.
this is money.
Now, guess who wrote this? When people talk
only
about
like 8
politics
minutes.
within the existing Westminster framework, I feel a dull thud in my
better than
stomach
sitting
and
through
my
Kanye's.
eyes involuntarily glaze, like when I'm conversing and the subject changes from me and moves on to another topic. The combination of distaste for mainstream politics and overweening vanity identifies it immediately as the work of Russell Brand, comedian,
Imagine Stu talking
actor,
dirty to some
and now
girl.
it seems political theorist. 4. Is there no limit to the man's talents? He's now guest editor of the venerable left-wing magazine, The New Statesman. He wants a revolution, he says.
This is insane.
Russell Brand, who are you to edit a political magazine?
Well, I just suppose like a person who's being politely asked by an attractive woman. I don't know what the typical criteria is. I don't know many people that edit political magazines. Boris, he used to do one, didn't he? So I'm a person with crazy hair, quite a good sense of humour. Don't know much about politics. I'm ideal.
But is it true you don't even vote?
Yeah, no, I don't vote.
Well, how do you have any authority to talk about politics then?
Well, I don't get my authority from this pre-existing paradigm, which is quite narrow and only serves a few people. I look elsewhere for alternatives that might be of service to humanity. Alternate means, alternate political.
At first, you think he's joking.
They being...
Well, I've not invented it yet, Jeremy. I had to do a magazine last week. I've had a lot on my plate. But I say, but here's the thing it shouldn't do. Shouldn't destroy the planet. Shouldn't create massive economic disparity. Shouldn't ignore the needs of the people. The burden of proof is on the people with the power, not people like doing a magazine. for
How do you
novelty.
imagine that people get power?
Well, I imagine there are sort of hierarchical systems that have been preserved through
They
generations.
get power by being voted in.
Well, you
That's
say
how
that,
they
Jeremy,
get it.
but
You
like
can't
a-
even be asked to vote.
It's quite a narrow prescriptive parameter that changes within the
In a democracy, that's how it works.
Well, I don't think it's working very well, Jeremy, given that the planet is being destroyed, given that there is economic disparity of a huge degree. What are you saying? There's no alternative. There's no alternative.
No, I'm not
just this
saying
system.
that. I'm saying if you
Brilliant.
can't be asked to vote, why should we be asked to listen to your political point of view?
You don't have to listen to my political point point of view, but it's not that I'm not voting out of apathy. I'm not voting out of absolute indifference and weariness and exhaustion from the lies, treachery, deceit of the political class that has been going on for generations now, and which has now reached fever pitch, where we have a disenfranchised, disillusioned, despondent underclass that are not being represented by that political system. So voting for it is tacit complicity with that system, and that's not something I'm offering up.
Why don't you change it then?
I'm trying to.
Well, why don't you start by voting?
I don't think it works. People have voted already, and that's what's created the current paradigm.
When did you last vote?
Never.
You've never, ever voted?
No. Do you think that's really bad?
So you struck an attitude, what, before the age of 18?
Well, I was busy being a drug addict at that point because I come from the kind of social conditions that are exacerbated by an indifferent system that really just administrates for large corporations and ignores the population that it was voted in to serve.
You're blaming the political class for the fact you had a drug problem?
No. I'm saying I was part of a social and economic class that is underserved by the current political system, and drug addiction is one of the problems it creates when you have huge, underserved, impoverished populations. People get drug problems and also don't feel like they want to engage with the current political system because they see that it doesn't work for them. They see that it makes no difference. They see that they're not served. I say that the apathy...
if they didn't bother to vote.
Jeremy, my darling, I'm not saying that the apathy doesn't come from us, the people. The apathy comes from the politicians. They are apathetic to our needs. They're only interested in servicing the needs of corporations. Look at what... Ain't the Tories going to court and to taking the EU to court because they're trying to curtail bank bonuses?
This is insane.
Is that what's happening at the moment in our country? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
So why am I going to tune in for that?
You don't believe in democracy. You want a revolution, don't you?
The planet is being destroyed. We are creating an underclass. We are exploiting poor people all over the world. And the genuine, legitimate problems of the people are not being addressed by our political class.
All of those things may be true.
They are true.
But you took... I wouldn't argue with you about many of them.
Well, how come I feel so cross with you? It can't just be because of that beard. It's gorgeous.
It's possibly...
I do. I'm against them. Grow it longer. Tangle it into your armpit hair.
You are a very trivial man.
What do you think? I am trivial?
Yes.
A minute ago, you were having a go at me because I want a revolution. Now I'm trivial.
I'm not having a go at you because you want a revolution. Many people want a revolution, but I'm asking you what it will be like.
Well, I think what it won't be like is a huge disparity between rich and poor, where 300 Americans have the same amount of wealth as the 85 million poorest Americans, where there is an exploited and underserved underclass that are being continually ignored, where welfare is slashed while Cameron and Osborne go to court to defend the rights of bankers to continue receiving their bonuses. That's all I'm saying.
What's the scheme? That's all I'm asking. What's the scheme?
This is kind of long, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Egalitarian system based on the massive redistribution of wealth, heavy taxation of corporations, and massive responsibility for energy companies and any company that's exploiting the environment. I think they should be. I think the very concept of profit should be hugely reduced. David Cameron says profit isn't a dirty word. I say profit is a filthy word because wherever there is profit, there is also deficit, and this system currently doesn't address these ideas. And so, why would anyone vote for it? Why would anyone be interested in it?
Who would levy these taxes?
I think we do need to, there needs to be a centralised administrative system, but built
government.
Yes,
there needs to be a government.
Well, we might maybe call it something else. Call them like the admin bods,
right.
so they don't get.
And how would they be chosen?
Jeremy, don't ask me to sit here in an interview with you in a bloody hotel room and devise a global utopian system. I'm merely pointing out that
You're calling for revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm calling for change. I'm calling for genuine alternatives. I say when there is a genuine alternative, a genuine option, then vote for that. But until then, don't bother. Why pretend? Why be complicit in this ridiculous illusion?
Because by the time somebody comes along you might think it worth voting for, it may be too late.
I don't think so, because the time is now. These movements are already occurring. It's happening everywhere. We're in a time where communication is instantaneous, and there are communities all over the world. The Occupy movement made a difference, even if only in that it introduced to the popular public lexicon the idea of the 1% versus the 99%. People, for the first time in a generation, are aware of massive corporate and economic exploitation. These things are not nonsense, and these subjects are not being addressed. No one's doing anything about tax havens. No one's doing anything about their political affiliations and financial affiliations of the Conservative Party. So until people start addressing things that are actually real, Why wouldn't I be facetious? Why would I take it seriously? Why would I encourage a constituency of young people that are absolutely indifferent to vote? Why would we? Aren't you bored? Aren't you more bored than anyone? Ain't you been talking to them year after year, listening to their lies, their nonsense? Then it's this one gets in, then it's that one getting in. But the problem continues. Why are we going to continue to contribute to this facade?
I'm surprised you can be facetious when you're that angry about it.
Yeah, I am angry. I am angry. Because for me, it's real. Because for me, it's not just some peripheral thing that I turn up once in a while to a church fete for. For me, this is what I come from. This is what I care about.
Do you see any hope?
Remember that? Yeah, totally. There's going to be a revolution. It's totally going to happen. I think not only
there's going to be a resolution.
This is the end. This is time to wake up. I remember I see you in that programme where you look at your ancestors and you saw that when your grandmother had to brass herself or got fucked over by the aristocrats who ran her gaff, you cried because you knew that it was unfair and unjust. And that was, what was that, a century ago? That's happening to people now. I just come from a woman who's being treated like that. I've just been talking to a woman today who's being treated like that. So if we can engage that feeling, instead of some moment of lachrymose sentimentality trotted out on the TV for people to pore over emotional porn, if we can engage that feeling and change things, why wouldn't we? Why is that naive? Why is that not my right because I'm an actor? I mean, I've taken the right. I don't need the right from you. I don't need the right from anybody. I'm taking it.
All right, so...
almost 2 million views, and there's probably another copy of it somewhere. 19,000 likes, only 1,000 dislikes.
So here's all good and all, but he's not. He's saying that there's a problem. Like he's basically presenting, hey, there's an issue, but that whole time he never once presented anything to fix the issue on how, if he was in charge, he can make it better or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
But I understand that the one thing that always surprises me, all right, is how intelligent comedians are. Comedians, a lot of times, they get put in these situations where they have to debate, and they're amazing. They're amazing, and they're knowledgeable. You look more into Joe Rogan, and you're like, wow, this guy really knows a lot. You see the guy on The Daily Show,
Jon Stewart.
And the other guy, what's the other guy that does it?
Stephen Colbert.
Both of them, they're so incredibly intelligent. They both went up to Bill O'Reilly and ran circles around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not just comedy. It's like intelligence. They're bringing up facts, and they're, some people they're experts in debating. They go to school for debating, and then you have comedians that come on.
I'm a Russell Brand fan, but when I listen to him, I feel like he's the dude at 4 o'clock in the morning at the party that's hella drunk and fucked up, that is spitting some knowledge, but you're just like, all right, we're not going to really do anything about this tomorrow, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could talk about changing the world right now, but like, I feel that the way that he talks and the rants that he goes on, and the way that he sprinkles in ridiculous words, there's a couple words in there that were over my head, and I'm not stupid. So,
well, here's the problem. He made a brilliant point. Right, we are taught through, even on MTV promotes it, make sure you get out and vote. Everyone has to get out and vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote. Mm-hmm. But if there isn't an option to actually change the world, then why vote? Why participate? And every year we have the same politicians, Republican or Democrat, blah, blah, blah. Not until recent times with like Ron Paul, and if you're an older person with Ross Perot, did we actually have an option as far as the presidential campaign to get something outside of the norm.
And I've actually heard people say they'll vote for someone not because they like them, but because they dislike the opponent.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Retarded.
We have a lot of uneducated
It's kind of like,
Americans.
okay, first off, I think the whole jury system in the U.S. is retarded, because if you are not smart enough to get off of doing jury duty, then it's not a good representation of people. Like, it's easy to get off jury duty. And so the people that actually aren't able to get off, they're either like they want to be on jury duty, which means that they're probably going to find the person guilty. Because if you're like itching to be on jury duty, you want to like send someone away. You're not trying to set someone free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a pretty interesting point.
Well, seriously, like who, okay, in the comments below, which one of you people would actually like to be on jury duty?
Here's the worst thing about it is some people, I personally would like to be on a jury.
My point proven.
I would love to
not.
be. I would love to be on a jury.
That my point proven. What kind of jury would you like to be on?
Anyone where I can free somebody.
You would just do it just to free someone?
Dude, they always find people guilty. Like I feel like people get found guilty more
That's
than
what I'm saying. The only people on jury duty are stupid people or people that want to send someone away.
Right. I want to go there and just I don't care what you did. Like unless he's like a child molester or something like that. You know what I mean?
I was
Like
just about to say that.
if it's somebody that stole something, let's say he went in and robbed a bank or whatever,
Yeah.
and nobody got hurt, not guilty.
You know what's really stupid is
I
when
just want them to get away with it.
When they have these jury trials, they'll have them like choose, guilty or not. But a lot of times the jury doesn't even know what that means if the person's found guilty. They'll be like, theft in the first degree. They're like, sure, guilty. They're like, that's his third strike. Life. It's like, whoa, hey. I didn't send him. I didn't want that, I feel that the juries should have more of an impact on the sentencing than just the yes or no of the conviction. And another thing that's crazy, there was this documentary called Hot Coffee, right?
I've seen that.
Very good documentary. It's on Netflix a lot.
Recently, they've just brought that up again. I don't know. I think I saw it on Reddit.
Yeah. On Hot Coffee, what they do is they look at cases, they look at 3 or 4 cases that were kind of extreme. And the reason behind the documentary was to show that the idea of frivolous lawsuits, right? Everyone in America thinks that people are just suing people left and right trying to get an easy buck, and it causes frivolous lawsuits. But that's not actually the case. The court system is there to find out if a lawsuit is frivolous. They're able to quickly see if it's not. The thing is that everything is supported by big corporations. That it's go ahead.
Well, So Close to Toast. Have you seen? Do you know about have you seen the Big Coffee documentary that he's talking about?
I haven't.
Okay, so perfect. What do you know? This is a perfect example because you wouldn't know unless you see it. So anyhow, let me ask you the question. Have you heard about the woman burning herself and suing
She burnt her
McDonald's?
vagina. She burnt her vagina.
Don't explain too much. I just want to get from him.
Burnt her vagina. That's on the news.
All right. Well, whatever. The lady that got burnt and then sued and got like $5 million from McDonald's. Have you heard the story?
Yes, I have heard about it.
All right. And in your opinion, real quick, what is your thoughts on that? Fair or not fair?
If she burned herself, I don't see how what she's suing for. That's what doesn't.
And that's the thing. I agreed, and see that's why
I agree too.
And that's why I want to set it up that way.
Yeah.
We all agree that it's been in the news, it's been everywhere. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? This bitch spilled coffee on herself? Why is she getting paid?" But in the documentary, we find out that it was more severe than that. Like the way that McDonald's was setting it up is they were basically like putting out molten lava in the cup, right? So anyone could have got burnt at any time. When she dropped her coffee on her lap, she got 3rd degree or 1st degree burns. Like they had to do skin grafting. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was pretty savage. And the thing is that when they would give her coffee, first off, they'd already had multiple complaints, right? They had multiple complaints from people all over the country saying, yeah, your coffee is like fucking lava hot. What the fuck? Like I'm burning my insides drinking this. And the lawyers for McDonald's actually found out that it would be cheaper for McDonald's just to continue what they're doing and then just deal with a couple of bitching customers than to change the process of them making their coffee. It actually cost them less money to do it that way.
So when you go into the documentary, your mind completely changes. You're like, wait, this isn't some crazy bitch that just spilled coffee on herself and sued for $5 million. And what?
If it would have happened to me and it would have burned my vagina, I would have been furious. You know what I mean? But the whole point of the documentary is it shows that there really isn't any such thing as a frivolous lawsuit. There really isn't.
Right.
And what happens is they put caps on it.
And the thing is that they also prove that big corporations have promoted this idea McDonald's got sued for some lady spilling coffee. They helped push this idea out on popular culture. Everybody knows that story, and everybody thinks, just like you did, because just like I did, because we didn't see the documentary. After you see the documentary, you're like, holy crap. So, yeah.
So what they did is they end up putting caps on lawsuits. So, let's say I sue Keem for $100 million, right? And the judge says, okay, Keem, you owe Blade $100 million. Well, the laws that are based to protect corporations like Keem basically say, even though the jury says give him $100 million, he might only have to give me $20 million. There was a study. There was a thing where this family, their daughter was sick or their baby was sick or something. Took her to the hospital. The nurse fucked up majorly, and pretty much if the nurse didn't fuck up on such a basic routine level, then the kid would have lived. Right.
Right.
And so the child died. They sued them, obviously won, and got some amazing amount of money, which they deserved because they lost their only child. Yeah. But because of these caps, they actually ended up going like bankrupt because they were only allowed a certain amount of money, and that money didn't even cover the medical costs.
So let's go full circle. All right. What Russell Brand is talking about is important because he's saying, I'm not voting because I'm not participating in this broken system.
I get that. I get that.
He's saying that, look, corporations run politics. We need a different system, you know, and you know, that guy, he works within this system. You know, he interviews a lot of politicians. He's part of the system, and he's basically calling him out. And that's what the whole battle was. That's why the Russell Brand thing was important. It was beautiful.
Now, what do you think about people that are convicted felons? Okay, people that did crimes, whatever. They went to prison, went to jail, and came out. Now they have to pay the same taxes. They have to abide by the same rules, but they aren't allowed to vote. Now I understand that what you say. It's not necessarily that great of a right to vote. But like, let's say someone they were a convicted felon, they wanted to vote, but they just can't. But they still have to play by the same rules.
I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a percentage of the population. What is it, like 1% of the people are convicted felons?
Oh no, we should look that up. We should look that up. I think
it's more than that.
It's way more than that.
Really?
The United States. I don't have a number, but I know the United States has the largest percentage of our people in prisons and in the system.
Oh yeah, it's like 3% of the population's in prison.
I think it's more than that. Maybe not in prison, but like there's a lot. Can we look that up? I'll look it up on the phone. I'll look up on the phone.
I believe it's the study that I heard is that 3% of the United States population, I almost said politics, population is in prison, in captivity.
Damn.
So Toast, while he's looking that up, now I'm gonna guess that you stay away from politics and you don't have any real political views, but
yeah.
Because you're always a pretty neutral guy, you know.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm cool with everyone, you know. Like that's the one thing I like about you. But what is it? Do you have a political view at all?
Well, honestly, like I get what Russell Brand is saying, and I think like a lot of people on the internet do, because I mean the younger majority, like you said in your one commentary about the gamers, how they're all just young kids, and like the gamers that are average, which is 30 years old,
right?
You know, they're the ones that don't speak out like kids do. But I mean, the kids apparently spoke out, 19,000 likes to 1,000 dislikes.
Yeah,
I mean, they obviously agree with him, not necessarily. I don't understand everything that he was saying. He was going into a lot, but honestly, I haven't even registered to vote because of the reasons that he was bringing up, that it is a broken system that doesn't seem like it's going to fix anything.
Well, kind of like what I said earlier, it without like Ron Paul, is there anyone to really like get excited about?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you have the Obama thing was cool. The Obama thing was awesome in 2004. It was get Obama in. Obama's going to save everything. Obama's going to be awesome. But then Obama got in and he did like a lot of stuff that George Bush did, and it was like, okay, well, we got fooled again.
Yeah. That's what it felt like, honestly.
A lot of people were let down, and surprisingly, a lot of people in the black community have been stepping up, saying that they're not happy with Obama,
I think they wanted.
Because personally,
they wanted a thug. That's what they wanted. They wanted like a real street dude up in there. They wanted like I know it sounds fucked up.
If I was black, right, Obama could do anything. Obama could be the next Hitler, and I'd be still like, you know what, fuck it, Obama for the win. You know what I mean? I would.
Yeah.
So I'm not like. I don't think anything ill of that. I'm just saying that's how I would act. But when you see a lot of black leaders and a lot of prominent people in the black community stepping up and being like, I don't agree with Obama's doing.
I think he's under such a tight microscope because he's the first black president. I think the second black president will be a little bit more ghetto in there. Does that make sense?
And the timing he came in, everything was very.
By the way, the
tense.
number is 2.6 million people currently in custody in the United States.
Out of 300 million?
Yeah, it came out to be the number that they gave was 0.7% of the U.S. population is in custody.
What?
0.7.
Oh, 0.7.
0.7.
So not even 1%.
Not even 1%.
Not even 1%. Okay.
That didn't take into account local jails, which is like county jails.
Well, yeah, that's what we need.
I understand, but they don't have that number. They just have the prison systems because the county jails have so many people coming in and out constantly that it's hard to keep track of that. So, in case you guys didn't know, most places there's two different forms. There's jails and there's prisons. Jails are for like you just got arrested or you have like a short term to do, and prisons is long term stints.
Well, apparently, there's now private prisons.
What do you mean?
There are prisons that aren't owned by the state government, the county government, or the federal government. There's prisons that are owned by companies,
and then the government rents them out.
And then the government rents them out.
Yeah, because they don't have enough space in the current ones.
Okay, so imagine this. All right, let's say me and you own a prison, right?
Shit.
Let's say we own a prison, we'll set it up this way, right? I own the prison. All right, you're the government. You're paying me tax on it, right? Mm-hmm. He is a politician, all right? Okay. So I need more people to go to jail so I can keep on getting more money because I get paid from you, the government, Big Cheese. I get paid for you for every single inmate in here.
Which is really shitty because in all actuality, it costs money to keep people in prison. But you need to have a budget in order to do that. So if the prisons start going empty and they start closing down prisons, they actually lose money because now there's not a budget for it. It's
My
retarded.
company is going to go bankrupt unless we can keep this thing filled with people. So what I do is I go to SoCloseToToast, who's a politician. He's a U.S. senator, and I'm like, hey man, Toast, we need to pass this bill and make everything more stricter so we can get more people in the prison system.
And that's how it goes down. Yeah.
And that's how it goes down. How fucking crazy is that? That's the way everything goes down. The government is fucking broken, and it's been broken for such a long time. If you take it down to the bare minimal of like just fixing streets and shit, there are literally the people that come and fix the streets, they will repave a perfectly fine fucking road, so they spend the money, so they keep the budget high. It's crazy.
I'll give you a good example. Okay, in the city of Kirkland, which is where I lived before I moved out here, right? They had this program that was run by like a local thing where basically there was so much drunk driving going on because there was like literally 8 bars in the heart of downtown Kirkland. Really awesome spot. So many DUIs happening, so many drunk driving accidents happening, right? So they got this this corporation got together and got this thing where pretty much volunteers in their own cars would literally circle around and give people rides within like 5 miles for free to anybody that was just drunk on the streets of Kirkland, right?
Amazing.
It got shut down.
Cool.
The reason why it got shut down, and they never really said this, but if you can read between the lines, is that the DUI arrests were so high in Kirkland that was half of its income from people paying the fees and the court costs and all that stuff for getting a DUI. It's a moneymaker. They don't care. And if you want to get fucking hammered and get shit faced or whatever, they don't care. But if they can't make money off you, then it's a problem. So even though they were saving people's lives, they actually looked at it like, okay, I know we're saving people's lives, whatever, but we're not seeing that income from this DUI arrest.
We need X amount of revenue. We got to get rid of this service. We need more DUIs so we can start paying for stuff and get more money.
It's kind of like, you've seen Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Edward Norton's character was talking about, he's like, well, Ford Motor Company, there was a defect. What I do is I discover how much it would cost to do a recall versus how much it costs for us to pay out the victims' families. And if the cost is higher to do a recall, then we just pay out the victim's family. We don't give a shit. And it's like, you're literally putting value. You're putting dollar amounts and dollar signs and making decisions not based on human life. It's based on the bottom line.
And the thing is you can see that right there. What we're talking about, greed, corrupting government, and corrupting the world as it is, and you can transcend that right there. That whole every example that we've just given into the YouTube scene. You know, you see so much stuff happening in YouTube that you're like, wait a minute, what? This isn't a community. This isn't fun anymore. Why is this guy doing this? What do you know, you don't even care about this game. Why are you uploading? It's the same thing. Greed has completely taken over everywhere, you know, and that's why it was almost a better world when people were stupid and were really religious.
Well, ignorance is bliss. I don't know about the religious part.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying one of the main things in religion is not to be greedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now we live in a society where people are more intelligent and they're like kind of out for themselves. And we live in a really crazy, fucked up world.
Well, it only takes one. Okay, it only takes one person to be out for themselves to make the whole group be like, well, we can either try to be noble, but this dude that's out for himself is doing way better than us, and that's what we want to do. So we kind of have to do it.
Yeah,
it's just like same thing as a Call of Duty lobby. If one person's being an asshole, well, we kind of have to be an asshole to keep up.
But isn't it so strange in a world in 2013 where we are more connected to each other than ever, thanks to the internet, that we're so far apart from each other because everybody is out for themselves? It's crazy. It's crazy that you can have both of those things at the same exact time.
At the same damn time.
It's crazy. Like, people are getting so smart now. Like, it used to be back in the day when, you know, everything was kind of hidden. Like, the government could do whatever they wanted. And now it's like, we know everything the second it happens. And the only problem is that the people, we just don't do anything to make it change.
Yeah.
It's a
I
shame.
mean, I think that there probably will be some kind of government overthrowing system. Like, and if you look back in history, everybody that's in the position that we're in right now at their time, eventually they overthrew their government and just wanted a fresh start. We're going to repeat the whole process over again, but we are definitely going to overthrow the government at one point.
The problem is that there's corporate America is always constantly running these campaigns to kind of manipulate the population and trick the population. But at the same time, that's being battled out with knowledge and WikiLeaks and you name it, the knowledge of the internet exposing the truth.
But
here's we're kind of seeing this battle right now.
One issue, though, is that there's a lot of dumb people that think they're smart. And that makes it really hard to see what's legit news and what's not.
Yes, the news changes everything because you don't know what is true, what's not, what are they trying to hide.
Any asshole with a webcam could make a news channel.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I just had a crick in my,
what are you talking
I just
about?
had a crick in my neck. That's
You're
all.
not talking about Drama Alert.
Whoa, getting defensive.
You're not talking about Drama Alert because Drama Alert only tells the facts. When has Drama Alert put a story up that wasn't true?
I don't know, dude.
There was never one.
That's probably why John Mueller got put down so many times because it was telling the truth. And
exactly.
People couldn't handle the truth.
Amen. Amen.
I was just busting your balls.
Blade. Dude, Drama Alert is set up to say, look, this person said that person said that. And that's it. It's facts. And you're right.
I was just busting your balls.
And you
bro.
are right, though. Anyone can do the news. That's why. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Drama Alert is because it requires zero skill and zero talent. Anyone could have been the Drama Alert guy. Anyone could have done news of the community, just like anybody can do Call of Duty news. It doesn't take a genius to do the news, but it does take integrity to do it honestly.
But also at the same time, like, okay, so like let's say you're watching real TV, right?
Yeah.
And you're watching a reporter. If that reporter has a high level of integrity, we will never know that. Because that's pretty much the integrity will mean I won't run this story or I won't expose this or whatever. It's things that you don't do. It's kind of like Freddie Wong was talking about this. He's like, there's some videos that I do that I literally spend 30 hours removing wires like through editing on the film. Now the thing is that the viewer will never see that, so they don't appreciate the fact that I'm doing it they just see it and just see how it is.
Right.
So like what you're talking about, like let's say you get some insane story, right? Like let's say you get some fucking groundbreaking story, but the story is actually potentially dangerous for whatever reason. I don't know the whole thing about it, but the story is that could actually have a negative impact on the community, right?
Yeah.
That could have a real negative impact on the community. So it'd actually be better for you not to report it. That shows integrity, right? But no one would know that.
There was a moment that I was in one of those situations, but I actually went through and told the story.
Okay.
So maybe I don't have integrity, but there was a moment.
Well, you get what I'm saying, though, that it's hard to show integrity because a lot of times integrity means that you have to just keep something to yourself.
Well, I figured out someone died on the cast of FPS Russia before anyone, and I broke the story.
Yeah.
And after I broke the story, then everyone on the internet, Philip DeFranco's news station picked it up.
Yeah.
Everybody picked it up from there. But
can I just say something about the Yost thing? So he died in a car
Right.
accident. I played with him once or twice. I can't say that I was like a friend of his. I wasn't an adversary either. But like the reason why I didn't make a video or even talk about it is because I didn't feel like I knew him well enough to talk about it. And I don't know what this thing is where when a tragedy like this happens, everyone acts as if this dude was his best friend. And it's just like, I understand that you're mourning and stuff like that, and also some people, I'm all up for fucking putting ads on videos and being compensated for your content, but there's lots of people that would make a video, just a regular commentary, talking about this person's death, and they keep ads on it, and I think that's kind of shitty.
That's messed up.
yeah, Syndicate made a video and had ads on it, and a lot of people talked to me privately, and they were like, and they weren't that happy about it behind the scenes.
Now, there's two things I have to say about this. I've put up videos where literally I had to take ads off because I was doing an in-ad video, right? So I have to take ads off. For whatever reason, YouTube decided to put ads on it on mobile phones anyway. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then also, there are people that run ad block. And
Oh, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, explain this.
I was doing I do Drama Alert, right? Some people in the community, they cover news based on the games and what's coming out with the games. I made a decision to cover news, what was going on with our community, with the people, with the YouTubers, with the entertainers in the COD community. So with Yod dying, right, a lot of people look at me to let them know about what's going on in the community. They don't know every person I'm talking about. They want to know these people and what's going on with the community, the drama within. So it was my responsibility, I felt, to let people know that Yod passed away. All right.
Okay.
So I uploaded a video. Of course, I put no ads on it, right? I start getting these tweets. You fucking scumbag. You're trying to fucking make money off of someone's death. How dare you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, you got ad block on. Like they were accusing me of putting ads. It's like you've watched every video with no ads for such a long time that you just assume that there's ads on every video. And because I released a video, you assumed that there was ads on it. You got ad block on, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with people being compensated for time and effort put into videos, but when it's something as sensitive as a person dying and their family and stuff like that, it's not appropriate to keep ads on your video.
I think Syndicate's a good person, and I think Syndicate would probably give more money to Yod's family than that video ever made. But I just wish he would have said something in the video like, hey, I'm going to make a donation, or the ads would have go to him, or just not even put the ads. But hey, guys, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
All right.
And we are back. I want to hear some more of that So Close to Toast beatboxing.
Play a beat.
All right.
That's filthy.
A little Pokemon for you.
I was wondering, I knew that was a soundtrack, but I couldn't figure out what it was from.
You could probably do that to some pretty epic games, now that I think about it. You know what? Lately, games don't have theme music like that. Like everything from Call of Duty is like this orchestral Zon Himmersman or whatever. I don't know.
Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer.
Dyslexic of me to say that, but I don't know. There's not really like music theme song like this little 8-bit. Battletoads and Double Dragon soundtrack like is the most gangster shit ever. Like it's seriously it's like Phil Collins played video games for 10 hours and made a soundtrack. It's awesome.
Why?
Why is it awesome?
Yeah, like Battletoads. How is that awesome?
I'm talking about the soundtrack to Battletoads meets Double Dragon, friend. You don't know?
It's just like
You don't
ding, 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 ding. Like it's the I don't know.
You haven't? Are you serious?
I've heard it before. What I'm saying
Talk to
is,
Toast. I'll pull it up. How about that? Bam.
hi Toast, how's it going on? Yeah, look what Blade was looking at. Why was Go transferring the memory?
I was trying to show him.
Look what Blade was looking at. For
trying to
those of you
show-
listening on iTunes and Android, it was a big black booty.
It was about music. We were talking about music, and I had to show him a video from BET Uncut. If you didn't know, BET used to have this thing called BET Uncut that would happen around midnight, and they'd pretty much show like poor man's porn in the form of music videos. Go ahead, Keem. Let me find this.
I don't know what you're talking about. Battletoads.
I'm just
Right there. Just click it.
I feel like soundtracks like really make like or break games sometimes. Like especially with GTA, like that soundtrack is the bomb. And,
the GTA soundtrack's awesome. This isn't what I was looking for.
same with movies. Like,
That
movie
is
has a
it.
good soundtrack.
That's not what I was looking for, though.
Well, what are you looking for? Battletoads, Double Dragon, Stage 1?
Yeah.
All that stuff was like right there.
Right here. Maybe not. Okay, this is not as cool as I thought it would be, and I think it's ruining the flow of the podcast, so we're going to stop.
Is that your cop-out to it's not that amazing?
No, I think that me trying to find a 1980s Genesis theme music thing for the podcast is going to take longer than it's going to be cool. So
Soundtracks
I
from
did that for the fans. Bro.
soundtracks of NES are kind of like NES games. You played them when you were a kid, you thought they were awesome, you try to play them today, and they're garbage.
Yeah. I don't know. I
You
think
just grow out of it.
You know what though? It's gonna be funny, man. Like Mia, when she's gonna be like 18, she's gonna have possibly a boyfriend, and he's gonna look at old GTA 5 footage and be like, "That looks lame."
No, she's not going to have a boyfriend.
No, she's not gonna have a boyfriend at all.
Mia's not having any boyfriends.
I think you feel like Mia's not gonna even have any friends. Like fuck that.
No, she's allowed to have friends, but no boyfriends.
No boyfriends.
No boyfriends.
You know that age is gonna come, bro. When that's gonna happen, it happens to everybody.
I always thought, like, when they were having that debate about gun control, like, what do the fathers of daughters do? You know what I mean? If they were to ban all guns.
Yeah,
It's true.
I don't know. I was kind of that way when I was in school, and my sister's a year younger than me, and I wouldn't let any dude holler at her. I was like, nope. You can partner up somebody else. She's going to do this project solo. Sorry, like you know what I mean? Like
The project known as life.
yeah. I'm just saying, like people would be like, oh yeah, I'll work with her. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Yeah, I was never that protective, but it's weird now because my mom, she's like, what is she, like almost 60? She's starting to date again. She hasn't dated in 10 years. And so for me, I don't even want to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, it's weird. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom is currently single, and she's met a couple of companions in the last couple of years, and every one of them just like, no, I don't really want to meet him. I don't want to know anything about him. I'm not trying to be buddies with you, bro. Like, I'm a grown man. It's not like, I don't know.
As crazy as this sounds, like when I was growing up, my mom and dad were always together, right? My parents didn't split up, all right? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, my friends that have like their parents split up, like they get double the presents, they get double everything.
Not only are they double presents, but they're competitive against each other.
Yes, they're competing to give the kid the best thing they possible. I'm like, damn it, these motherfucking parents I got are working as a team together to be assholes. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want them to fight for my attention. So anyhow, last year my mom passed away, and my dad started dating someone right away, and I hate it. Yeah. I friggin' hate it. So now I'm glad that my childhood was, my parents were together and all that.
I mean, my mom was a single mom because my dad passed away. So it was a little bit different. It's not like he was around, but he just on the other side of town or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always feel that's like a weird thing. And a lot of people stay together for the kid, and that actually is more unhealthy than them splitting apart. You know what I mean?
So is your dad still around, or?
No, he passed away. So I give much respect to my mom because she waited 10 years to even like really date somebody. But for me, it's just like, nah.
All right, everybody put it up.
I'm still not comfortable.
Team one parent dead.
That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up.
We all have one parent dead.
Yeah. So together, it's like we all have 1.5 parents.
It was funny. I seen an interview with the guy from Full House. What is his name? Bob Saget. Bob Saget and the guy that played Joey from Full House. What's his name?
John Stamos?
Not him.
Dave Coulier?
Yeah, both of their sisters passed away.
Okay.
And apparently on the set of Full House, they would all make these jokes about dead sisters. And everyone else around on the crew were like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But they're comedians, so they would always...
I saw an Instagram thing where they took like a Full House like image of like Michelle, like this,
Mm-hmm.
And it said, if that dude is cheating on you, start dating his dad. So now that dude will become your stepson.
Say that again? I didn't get it.
All right. So
you didn't get it either, did you?
We just laughed.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So imagine if you have to put yourself in a female's shoes, okay? All right. So imagine if the dude that you're going out with cheats on you.
Okay.
This person says to get back at him, start dating his dad. So now that dude, your ex-boyfriend, becomes your stepson to really put him in check.
Why? Now, if you saw that on Instagram and it had her on it, right? Is she dating? Did this like really happen in real life?
No, it was just an Instagram. I'm
Like
going to make a
meme.
meme. Yeah, it's a meme.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there has to be a reason for that meme.
Yeah, comedy.
No, I'm thinking maybe like one of those twins is dating boyfriend's dad.
No, it's
ex-boyfriend's dad.
No, I think those girls are 30 now. I think I said somewhere that those girls are like 30 now.
So what? It's not that far off.
You're looking way too far into it. Just a person took a picture of the girl from Full House and put a lot of different memes together.
Well, apparently it looks like a false flag here. I don't know. I think the internet needs to look into that. I'm still trying. Yeah, find out if it's real.
It's not real. You don't have to look any further. It's not real. It's just somebody made a joke and put it on. You're retarded. I don't know. I don't know why I fall for that.
They could put the
every
joke
time.
on anything. How do you know? Do you know? Can you stay here definitively that one of
this is all over an
Olsens,
Instagram meme,
that one of the Olsen twins is not dating a parent, a father of an ex-boyfriend?
I have no idea. I'm going to assume no, but I have no idea. There's no way to rule it out, counselor.
Well, see, you can never run Drama Alert because you haven't done the research.
There's no drama here.
You have to get
it's
behind
a
the
fucking
story.
Meme. They took a photo from Full House from back in the day and made a meme out of it.
Do you know the Olsen twins are worth like millions of dollars?
Shit.
Me and my buddy just recently. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that I think they're only like worth one good night, and that's about it. Throw 'em out.
Anyhow, I was at a thrift shop looking for stuff for a Halloween costume with my buddy John. You know John.
Yeah.
And we were looking around, and there was this couch there. And John goes, "That's an ugly couch." And there was another guy standing there. He's like, "Yeah, man, that's way from the 90s. I go, "That is the couch from Full House." And both John and the other customer were just like, ding. And they're like, "Oh my God, it was." It was this like plaid blue and red couch. Yeah. And it was the exact couch from Full House. I don't know how I remember that, but it was pretty insane because it took me right back.
Do you ever like watching those shows like Where Are They Now? And like apparently one of the girls from Full House was like on crank or something. Like she was like really into drugs.
Who?
The middle one. The middle
Stephanie.
daughter. Stephanie. Stephanie started like smoking crack and shit.
She's like the best looking one too.
The thing is the ugly one got hot when she got older.
The oldest sister on
Yeah.
there? Yeah. I always had a thing for John Stamos' wife on there. I thought
you were going to say the Olsen twins.
Nah, come on now, bro.
Pete alert.
No, you know who's fine? Look her up. Do you remember the show Blossom?
Yes.
6 on Blossom is fine.
Who's 6?
6 was her friend.
Oh, she was ugly.
She is fine now, though.
She played like the ugly friend.
No, I don't know if she was ugly back then. She wasn't really attractive back then. But
Toast,
she's
how old
fine
are you?
Now.
I'm 22.
Did you ever get a chance to watch Blossom, or is that before your time?
I think it was before my time, or I just wasn't like. It was during my younger years, but I never was.
What is like the
interested.
first show that you got into?
What was your first show
like
crush?
sitcom?
Show crush was. I would have to say Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Hell yeah.
She was the bomb.
All right, so they made a National Lampoon's movie with Topanga and this model named Vita Guerrera who has ridiculous ass. And they did like
I saw
a
it.
semi-lesbian scene. It was awesome.
Dude, Topanga was like too hot.
She was
Like-
like dreamy, like
There was a lot of girls like during that time, like Pam Anderson. Now when you think of Pam Anderson, she's busted and she's fucking old as shit. But
I
during
did it. I knocked the fucking cobwebs off it.
I
during
think I got lost in there.
during the time, remember Tommy Lee was there, so you can't compete with that. But
That's true.
He was fucking harpooning that shit.
during that time, there was no girl on TV that could compare to Topanga. Like that.
Oh,
it was
I got
like,
someone.
She
that
was
can
the
compare-
hottest.
No, I got someone that can compare to Topanga. There was a show called Unhappily Ever After, and Nikki Cox was on that show, and she was fucking super fine.
Who is Nikki Cox?
Talk to Toast. I will pull up Unhappily Ever After for you. Okay, go.
Who's Nikki Cox?
Nikki Cox is this girl. You'll see. Okay.
Just look up Nikki Cox.
Well, Nikki Cox now is hot, but not as hot as she was on that show.
Yeah, but you would whatever.
Okay, I'll look up Nikki Cox.
You know who
Oh,
also was pretty, like, she was like the bomb was Kelly
Oh.
from Saved by the Bell.
she was always like super hot.
And that's the dude from Entourage. That's E from Entourage.
Yeah. So what is this? Is this?
This is Unhappily Ever After. This show was amazing.
Who are you?
They had the dude.
All right.
All
Say
right.
hi to Mr. Peabody.
Jesus Christ, I'd fuck the bejesus out of her.
Yeah, she's just too hot.
Is there such thing as too hot?
Yeah, that girl is way
Hey,
too
when
hot.
I was a little kid and I watched Wonder Years, I always thought Winnie was hot, but when I watch it now, I'm like, she was flat and she was
Ugly.
and she was a bitch. She put Kevin through some shit, and I'm just like, fuck you.
Well, we went deep into Kevin in the Wonder Years. We don't really know what she was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kelly from Saved by the Bell. She
Oh
was
yeah,
smoking.
she was always hot.
when
you
that
ever-
one girl from Saved by the Bell did the stripper movie,
Elizabeth Berkley.
that's not her name.
Yes, it is.
I thought it's Jessica something.
It's whatever. Who cares? I'll let you win that
But-
one. I don't even give a shit.
Bam! Winner.
Damn, I don't even care to argue the name of a Saved by the Bell character. Go ahead. You know.
Saved by the Bell was good, but then when they wouldn't turn the show off and they like took him into college, it was like, what the hell is going on? And Screech was funny when he was younger because he was a nerd, but they never let Screech like grow up and not be a nerd anymore in the natural sense of nerdism.
Apparently, he's an asshole. Like in the real life, apparently he's a fucking douchebag. Like they did this show, which they had like celebrities on, like a celebrity weight loss show, and he was on there. He was a fucking asshole. And apparently, he did a porn.
That's the one thing I was going to bring up. He did a porno or something. And I don't understand that. They have royalties from the show. Like, how can they be that hungry?
They
for
might
money?
not. They might not have that good of deals from that show. You got to think these shows involve like 6 main characters and like some teachers and stuff like that. And as kids, they're just happy to be fuck on TV. They might not have had good deals.
I've said this before on this podcast. I got to say it again. If anyone gets a chance to do this, watch Roseanne shows. Roseanne was one of the best shows on TV. It was so good. I watch reruns and I'm just like, they don't make shows like this
There
anymore.
are two shows that my mom did not allow me to watch when I was a kid. One of them was Roseanne, and the other one was Married with Children.
Well, yeah, those are both bad shows, but
Yeah, they're both like they
but Roseanne wasn't that bad.
I couldn't get into it. Roseanne.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Every time they sat down at the table, I was like, all right, I'm changing the
Yeah,
channel.
there's
They always
certain
sit at the
shows.
table.
As soon as I hear the theme music, I'm like, nope. MASH. As soon as that fucking cheesy ass depressing music of MASH comes on, I'm changing it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now, here's the thing. It's funny that you guys say, as soon as they sit down at the table in Roseanne, you're out of there. The beauty of Roseanne is that it wasn't written like punchline, 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 punchline. It was written to tell a story, and there's these moments that are amazingly boring that shouldn't even be in there. There's like there'll be a whole minute that goes by where nothing happens of significance, right?
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of that show. It just seems so fucking real. It's not this fake scripted bam 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 where it's a.
Have you ever watched a show like? What do you think about laugh tracks?
I hate them.
You hate them. Okay, why do you hate them?
I hate them because they're cheesy and they're ridiculous.
Now, I've watched some shows that I thought were funny, but for whatever reason, they like when they originally aired them, they had a laugh track, then they edited them out, and it was really awkward because they were pausing for laughs for things that weren't funny.
Yeah,
I want a laugh track for this show.
I think
that would be so stupid.
You would
I
have
think
used
laugh
the show.
tracks are just there to force you to laugh. They're not there. That's why I like certain comedians because they just are so like how you guys are saying that they're just smart. They
Yeah.
kind of tell the facts of life that no one else really wants to like bring up, but that's
Yeah.
why it's funny because they bring it up, even though it's like,
Yeah, I
scary
mean, I
facts of life.
like the depressing, intelligent comedians, kind of like the Louis C.K.
Louis,
yeah. Louis C.K. is fucking hilarious.
Kind of like you.
That's why we don't have a laugh track, because I know you'd abuse the fuck out of it. You would abuse it for days, which is amazing that we don't like. I'm surprised more commentators don't lock on to stuff like make a video called the laugh track, which is just that, and put ads on it. Look, it has 500,000 views, just the laugh track.
Yeah, wow. You just gave a brilliant
If you
idea.
if you hit that, I'm off the show. I'm just letting you know. Just don't.
If I hit what?
Just if you hit play, I'm walking out of the show because that's going to get so annoying, and I'm not.
I'll
trying
hit
to-
it like I hit your mom.
and close it. Bam.
I had a question for you guys actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like I was a big fan of BadKidCast before like the other channel got shut down and stuff. Are you guys thinking of like doing any real life stuff in the future?
Well, once this channel gets shut down, we're thinking about starting up another one. And,
No, a lot of people keep leaving comments like, well, I hope this has a good run before it gets shut down. The issue, I don't think I've ever publicly said this, but I'm going to say it now. Apparently, I had a channel that was, well, it's not apparently, it's a fact. I had a channel that was shut down called Halo A-Holes, and it was the original FAG channel. And what someone was doing is they were contacting YouTube and saying, look, this dude has this suspended channel. He's not allowed to have another channel, blah, blah, blah. We actually contacted YouTube, and I got that channel back, and that allowed me to be on YouTube again. So that issue's been solved. We're not getting shut down anymore. So all those channels that are shut down, I haven't actually done the groundwork to get them back up, but we can get them back up. So I just got to take
can we get back the old footage, or is that shit just gone?
Well, no, because those channels were taken down based on Halo A-Holes being shut down. So now that Halo A-Holes is back up, we can get all those channels back up. But I should say, I was going to say it would take a day of work, but honestly, it'd be a good week of constant.
But what? No.
emails
My question is this: if we can get those channels back, right? Like the original, the Bad Kid Show,
Right.
the Bad Kid Podcast. If we can get those channels back, will all the content that's on those channels still be there?
Yes, when Halo A-Holes came back after being down for 19 months, every video came back.
Because there's some awesome stuff on there that I want to see. It's not even necessarily to like make public, but there's some awesome moments. The time when, all right, one time we went out to the bar and we filmed at the bar with like a new dude filming, right? Like Scott wasn't filming at that moment. And when we were at the bar, I drank a quadruple Jaeger bomb and don't know what the fuck happened. So just hilarity ensued, and I yelled at some girls because I was like trying to act like Santa and have them sit in my lap and shit. I'm like, "What do you want?" You know?
And you honked the girl's boob.
Yeah, I was flirting with this girl and I honked her boob, and Keem like got it on footage, and you came back here and edited it while you were still drunk and uploaded it.
Yeah. Yep. True story.
Stuff like that. The kid with not Tourette's, but the fat kid that had a stutter. That shit is comedy gold.
The only thing stopping us from going out in the real world and doing the show that we used to do is a cameraman.
Yep.
So if we can get a really good cameraman out here in the area, I'm pretty good with editing now. I've got pretty much all the editing stuff done. We just need. It would be amazing to have an amazing editor and a cameraman in one package like we had with Scott Martin. Yeah. Me and Scott Martin had a lot of differences, but as far as it came to him running that machine, which is the camera, and editing, he was brilliant at it.
Yeah.
And that's why, even though me and him don't get along, I still want Scott to come back. If Scott said I'm coming back, I'd cheer for joy. That's not going to happen, but, you know, we need someone that had Scott's capabilities, because even though me and Blade put on, I shouldn't say that we even put on a show because we're just really us.
Yeah,
like, that's who we are in real life.
I mean, and half the time Keem would come up with some ridiculous idea, and I'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm here. Let's do it." You know,
the GPS thing.
What GPS?
Yeah, remember? Okay, a lot of people say this. A lot of people contact me, and I think Toast actually told this to me privately. He's like, do you remember when you guys were running from snipers?
I hated that shit.
We both thought,
I hated that shit.
We both thought that was stupid as fuck. We're running around with like doing this fake thing looking for some spy, right?
Yeah.
People loved it.
I hated that shit. I hated it so
acting
much.
You were on. That was acting right there.
Yeah.
Remember when we did the sniping and you put the ketchup on your face or whatever? Like,
yeah. like I got shot. Yeah. I mean that.
Let me explain to you how that one episode that you're talking about went down, right?
I was tired as shit.
I called Blade and Scott up. I'm like, come over. We got to film a show. All right. They get over there like, what are we going to do? Where we're going to go? I'm like, we're just going to go to this app and we're just going to like act like they're snipers. So we're making the whole thing up as we go. And we did that literally on every shoot. Like, you guys would end up coming to my house. You wouldn't even know what we were doing. And I would make it up 5 minutes before you got there. What we were going to do.
The thing was like Scott wanted to plan out everything, which is good.
Yeah, Scott.
I was in the middle, and Keem was like, "Let's just wing it." And so I'd be in a constant struggle between the two because like I wanted the order of Scott, and I liked the spontaneity of Keem, but like I tried to meet in the middle. So.
Right. So I don't know. It didn't work out, but the problem with the show that we were doing is it was a fucking TV show, dude. It was good. It was really good.
It did feel like a TV show, like a short little mini series.
You were trying, but see, Keem was trying to hit it so hard though. Like we'd go out and film one day, and to edit those episodes takes a long time. Like the editing that like Scott has taught me a lot about editing, and so when I see the shows and the transitions and like. If a person that does YouTube videos like Call of Duty commentaries and you look at editing timeline, it looks pretty basic. When you look at stuff that Scott was doing for the BadKidCast, it was so complex.
But the thing is, here's one of the things that we have a problem with. I want to get stuff done, get it out there, get it accomplished.
But you want to get stuff out there, but well, like I kind of want to stress quality though.
Let me finish my point. All right. Me editing a video of the BadKidCast would not have the same quality as what Scott was putting together.
Correct.
But it's barely noticeable. Barely noticeable.
It's very noticeable.
It's the same situation that you were talking about with Freddie Wong and The Wires. It's the same situation. What Scott was doing definitely put more professionalism on it.
Yeah.
But he would take like a whole day. We'd lose a day of uploading because of his editing, which I could have accomplished in like.
But then the video wouldn't have been as good. That's the whole.
I get that. I get that. But the video we're missing a day. It should be up.
But that's why we're talking about quality over quantity.
You can edit the fuck out of something, but if there isn't content there to begin with, it doesn't matter.
There's content there in either situation. The raw footage is still there.
Okay, but
I'm talking
you
about
gotta look
polishing it.
You got to look at what percentage of the editing goes towards the entertainment value of the show. What percentage?
The combination of the two is higher than the sum.
It's like
most people
maybe 10%.
no.
Maybe 10% of what Scott was doing, and I'm not taking anything from Scott. Scott is an amazing editor, and that's not what I'm saying, right? But the 10% of shine and sprinkle that Scott was putting on it was only 10%. So
I think it was higher.
I would trade in, half of that and only have 5% editing quality, right? To get it up faster.
I'm just saying that the total package was more than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of get what you're saying. Like, I mean, I'm gonna graduate hopefully December with an editing degree for film and stuff, and I'm working in the business right now with an internship, and that sometimes that little bit of polish makes the difference with whether a client wants to pick up.
Yeah, the level of professionalism,
or not. But they also want it fast too. So maybe Scott just wasn't fast enough with polish.
Scott was extremely thorough, and I love that about him.
See, if we just
but you wanted like a 40-minute TV show edited in like an hour. It doesn't work like that.
Here's the issue, right? We just filmed a show, right? So in my memory, I know everything that happened. I know every break. I know when someone coughed and it needs to be edited out. I know everything, right? Stored it in my brain, right? Scott would go through and he would watch a whole like hour and a half and then watch every little detail to make sure, like you said, he was thorough. And it's like, dude, you know what happened here. Like, that's what was frustrating me. It was like, you don't have to watch this. You know when this conversation starts. I think he does. And you know when this conversation ends.
I got to ride with Scott on this one. I think he does. I know he does.
And
that's what makes it quality.
And also, you can look at the volume lines, right, and be like, okay, they're talking here and they're not talking here. Bam. That section's done. We don't have to go through that whole section and watch the whole thing just to maybe add a little bit of break where me and you, thought about something and maybe waited half a second. We don't need to cut that half a second out to make the thing better.
I think we do.
And when it's a constant conversation and we pause this long, go. That gets cut out.
Yeah, for the flow of the show.
An extra 40 minutes to cut that out. I don't.
If it makes it better, then I'm good with that. If it makes a better quality show.
Now here's something interesting, right? Let's change the subject because we can sit here and debate this all day.
Okay.
I feel like I'm debating with Scott because I feel like you've jumped over to that ship and you feel like you got to defend it.
I'm on the me ship. I'm on the ship that makes sense. Sometimes Scott makes sense. Sometimes you. Sometimes both of you guys sound nuts to me.
How are me and Scott still fighting when Scott's not even here?
You guys aren't fighting. We're just reminiscing on times.
Conversation over. So before So Close to Toast was this giant YouTube celebrity that he is today. How many subs do you have, by the way?
Just went over 450,000.
So is it true, like, I would say maybe 8 months ago that you had maybe like 10,000 subs? Maybe if that?
Yeah, I think it's nine months ago. It was.
So 9 months ago is right before he just took off, right?
Okay.
And I knew Toast way back then. Mm-hmm. I think Toast when I first started hanging out with him, he might have had like 2,000 subs. Like he really blew up. And we were talking, and he was telling me that he was going to school for editing. Mm-hmm. And we almost, when we were filming the BadKidCast that he remembers, we were going to do something. Like we were going to, do you remember I invited you?
Was it Tennessee or Kentucky that you were coming down?
That was the Tennessee trip that I was going to invite him to go with us to film everything.
Yeah.
And it was going to be awesome, but he couldn't make it.
What do you use to edit? I know it's probably super boring, but what do you
I use Final Cut 7, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut 10.
Yeah.
There's Motion, After Effects.
I like. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I like 7.
7?
Yeah. That's like. I mean, Scott taught me on that, so I'm good with that. So.
I don't like Macs. PC world.
It's better. It's better.
Premiere.
Yeah, you can use Premiere, but but honestly, dude, like now that I've been using the Mac, I prefer it for what I do. So.
PC world wins everything.
Go ahead. Here's the thing: they can coincide.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
Nope.
They already do.
Nope.
And that's the difference. Here's the thing. So PC thinks that they want to be in competition with Mac. They're not. Mac understands that there's people that benefit from a PC and people that benefit from a Mac.
People at Mac were like, hey, I'm going to make this sexually appealing, right?
That's a stereotypical.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this stylish and hipster-like, right? So the kids get into it. But I'm going to target the people that have a lot of money that are foolish enough to think the more money that they spend, the better product they're going to get. And I'm going to trick them by combining that with style.
I wish there was a fortune cookie that when you opened it, it would say, "You're a fucking idiot."
You should go have Chinese.
Now there's gonna be the whole PC.
The whole Mac
But that's
PC thing. I mean,
But seriously,
but
that's what they did.
I'm saying.
Tell me they didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
You're from Seattle, Washington, and you don't support Microsoft?
No, I don't.
Isn't Apple in Seattle, Washington too?
Apple is California.
Everywhere.
Oh.
And Apple's everywhere. I'm just saying for what I do.
How dare you?
For what first
How
off,
dare
I'm from
you?
Seattle and I don't fuck with Starbucks at all. I do not touch it.
Is Seattle from Starbucks?
Starbucks is from Seattle, yes.
How dare you? I've been watching Joe Rogan too much.
But
That's
also,
what he says all the time.
I got this thing where I'm not going to have blind loyalty to anything. I'm not going to blindly follow something just because. If something is better for my circumstance, that's what I'm going to use. For what I do, a Mac's a better setup for me.
You never learned how to edit a video on a PC.
What are you talking about? Yes, I did.
Yeah, with Windows Movie Maker, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then after that, I used Sony Vegas.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, he didn't.
But it doesn't even matter.
Take this fortune cookie and open it, motherfucker.
I mean, okay, so
So you don't know what that is. That is such a one-sided, biased argument.
why is that a one-sided bias argument? I've had PCs my whole life. I've had PCs my entire life.
But you've never used them to do the job that you're doing, which is forming the opinion on why you have that you love Macs. Is because now, finally, someone has taken the time to teach you how to use the editing software, and that is the core reason why you love it, is because you can produce better content when you didn't take 2 seconds out of your life to understand how to use the machine known as the PC that you had forever. You wasted your life on that fucking thing, and now you got this new thing, and now that you understand it, you formed this whole hypothesis that fucking Apple is better. That is crazy.
For what I do,
you
yes,
have
it is.
no scientific value in this argument.
Yes, I do.
Where's that fortune cookie? I'm hungry.
Yeah, where's that fortune cookie? No, but dude, like, okay, so with PCs, everything is just kind of like put together. Like you have a base, like with a motherboard, and people throw a million different combinations of things and see what works and what doesn't. Okay, Macs are meant to have the software made for it, and it's smoother. It's more expensive. Would you rather have a BMW or would you rather have a Honda with $20,000 worth of equipment put into it?
I see this comment all the time.
That's
all right. I see this comment on my videos all the time, and I'm going to see it on this video, right? Okay. Someone is going to say in the comments section, look, I hate fucking Keemstar, and I never agree with anything he says, but he's right. PCs are better. You're going to see that fucking comment. You're going to see it.
I'm not even making the argument on PCs are better or Macs are better. I'm just saying for my situation, Mac works better for me. That's what I'm saying. You have to look at it as a per-person basis, okay? If you're like a PC gamer, then obviously PCs are better, okay? But as far as what I use my computer for, which is video editing, okay, the Mac is a better fit for me.
Biggie and PC.
I think it just comes down to the simplicity of the user and what, like how Blade's saying, that's what he needs it for.
For me, for what I do, the Mac is a better fit for me.
He never tried Sony Vegas. How would he know?
I do have Sony
So
Vegas.
Close to Toast, Biggie or Tupac?
What? Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie or Tupac? Gotta know. This should be a standard question that we ask every guest.
The two questions I want to ask every YouTuber that comes on here is Biggie or Tupac, just for the lulz.
Yeah.
And then also, have you... Okay, Toast, I'll ask you this question. I asked this Parasite. Have you ever gotten pussy strictly based on your YouTube persona?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Honestly, no one's
keep my
ever
YouTube persona quiet.
Okay, but I'm saying, have you ever gone to an event or whatever, and there was a girl there's like, Toast, give it to me? Do you think that?
There's been hinting and stuff like that, especially some people back home who do follow me on Facebook and stuff and know what I do. They'll come up to me and they'll be like, "So you got this thing going on? What's up? Let's drink."
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, but there's never been someone that didn't know you in the real life, but knew you because of the YouTube persona, and you met him in real life, and you gave him the toast.
I haven't been able to do that yet.
Okay.
Maybe this PAX.
And then Biggie or Pac?
I have to go with, even though I'm from the East Coast, I have to go with Biggie.
Yes.
I mean, I listen to both, but Biggie, I don't know. There's something about the movie Hardball. It really comes to mind, where it's Keanu Reeves and he's the coach for underprivileged ghetto kids playing baseball.
Is that
and they're all singing,
Oh, I get it. I get what he's saying right now. For a minute, I'm lost. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Biggie died before Keanu Reeves. not that Keanu Reeves wasn't alive, but he died prior to Keanu Reeves being someone.
Speed?
I think
Speed?
no.
Speed?
What date did Speed come out?
Speed was a 95er.
Biggie died about 95, right?
96.
96. Okay. But
what about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I know what he's talking about. Fuck that shit. That's stupid. I've never seen it and I'm never going to see it.
What? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Okay.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Listen.
What? I'm not friendship off, bro.
There were a bunch of movies that came out in the 90s that were centered around characters that were stonehead retards, and I never understood that. You're not going.
No, I'm gonna go.
You're not.
Buy Bill and Ted's. The Walmart's open. I'm buying the movie.
Sit down.
Seen that movie? Are you serious?
He thinks he's gonna go and buy the movie so I can watch it.
Yeah.
No.
$1
Sit down. Talk on the mic. Put on your headset. Come on, we're doing a podcast here.
That's dumb.
This show is no longer professional.
Well, obviously, because you haven't seen a fucking movie that's a requirement to see. You've never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It was just never. I wasn't interested in it when I was 12 years old, and I'm not interested in it now.
Are you kidding me? That's that should be required of Mice and Men, The Grapes of Wrath, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Okay,
I've
should be a fucking requirement.
All right, listen. You know what? There was a movie that I told you that you had to fucking see,
and I watched it.
How long did it take you to watch it?
I don't know, a week or two.
How long did it take you to watch V for Vendetta?
A week or two.
Bullshit.
A week or two.
Bullshit.
A week or two.
It took you a month or two.
And if you are trying to compare V for Vendetta to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you are crazy.
V for Vendetta is way better. Way better.
We're not even talking about being better. We're not even talking about being fucking better.
And I can
we're not even talking about being better. We're talking about required viewing.
Required viewing V for Vendetta.
No,
V for Vendetta.
For your age, okay? For your age, for when Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out, that's like saying you haven't seen Back to the Future.
Let me ask you a question.
Have you seen Titanic?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
All right. Will Bill and Ted's Epic fucking Travels or whatever it's called, right? Adventure, right? Mm-hmm. Will that movie be thought-provoking and make me change my opinion on life and politics and give me a different view of the world I live in? Will it give me a different view of the world I live in? No, and that's exactly what V for Vendetta has done.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about required for your age.
But what I'm saying,
for your age, the mere fact that during the time of you growing up, that you never once either had a friend or a family member talk about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or make a reference.
My friends did. Everybody's seen it.
And you still didn't watch it.
No, it's a bunch of stoners that are I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. It's probably going to be dumb.
Do you want to always to have a thought-provoking experience when you watch a movie, though? I mean,
Not always, and that's a good point. That's a good
I'm
point.
not saying that it's like the greatest movie of all time. It's not even that great of a movie. I'm just saying
it's-
for your age group, that should have been a requirement that you saw that. And that worries me that you didn't. That's what I'm saying. That's like alienness.
A lot of times there's movies out there that everyone has seen, but it doesn't affect you and it doesn't affect your life in any shape or form. And when I go see a movie, when I go see something, right, I want to walk away from that with a different view on things, a different perspective. I want it to take me to a place that I haven't been before. And I'm pretty sure Bill and Ted's Epic Adventure, or whatever the fuck it is, right, is the standard, like, stoner, get in trouble, try to chase some girl, comedy bullshit that we see in almost the plot in every comedy.
It's not.
What is it about then?
It's about time travel.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Isn't it time travel? Isn't it about time travel? Right, Toast?
yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
don't
yeah.
remember?
No, I'm getting confirmation from him.
Why?
I'm
Yeah,
spitting
no,
out
it is.
logic, but you don't want to hear it, so I want to get him to spit some logic to you so you act right. That's why I'm referring to him.
Okay,
I know the movie.
So this movie is about time travel. Now, will it have the same impact on me as a viewer as Donnie Darko? No.
I've said this again. I'll say it again. I'm more talking about your age and when that movie came out. That was a movie because you and I are about the same age, okay?
Right.
During that time, that was like required viewing.
Okay, I get it. I know I'm trying to argue something different than what you're trying to argue. I get it.
Okay, so you're not obviously you don't get it because you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I
saying
am
it's not like some great amazing movie. If they're not going to remake it.
I'm giving you.
It's not like De Niro's
I'm
De Niro and
gi-
Pacino aren't getting together. Like we need to remake this movie.
I'm giving you reasons why I haven't seen it, right?
Okay.
And you're just not understanding that.
No,
why
I hear
haven't
you-
seen
I
it
hear your
in the
reasons.
sense because I was alive and we're the same age, and during that time period, everybody saw that movie. I get it.
Okay.
But I still that's why I haven't
Let's
seen
get
it.
stoned and watch that movie.
All right.
Deal.
All right.
All right. We'll find some weed. I'll find it.
I'm just really mad that you didn't watch V for Vendetta.
I did.
No, you didn't.
What are you talking about? I did. Quiz me.
Okay, this is how I know you didn't watch it.
Give me 5 questions about that movie.
This
I'll
is
answer
how
it.
I know you didn't watch it, right?
Okay.
You said, it didn't interest me.
It didn't.
You didn't watch it. You did not
How
watch
do you
it.
have a bearing on what interests me and not? First off, Natalie Portman's flat, so instant boner killer there. I watched the movie. I respected the movie. I liked the concept. I just wasn't interested in it. That's it. Sorry.
You're too passive aggressive.
How am I too passive aggressive?
You're too passive aggressive to understand why V for Vendetta is so good.
No, I enjoyed it. I like the concept. I respect the
You
movie.
are not
I
the
just
type
didn't
of
enjoy it.
person that would be a part of the revolution.
No, I would not. No,
Nope.
that is true. I would not be part of the revolution.
You'd be like, let me know if you behead the king or president
Yeah,
or whatever.
absolutely.
Let me know who the new president is. Let me know what I need to do.
First off, when people are part of a union and they pick it outside, you're still going to work. You're just not getting paid for it. Fuck that. If people want to go on strike, I'll be at home kicking it. So, I always thought that was retarded.
That's a good point, though.
Think about it. Okay, so you go to work and you get paid for it, but you're not getting paid what you think you should be getting paid. So they all group together and they're going to
is
stand outside in the
slave-
fucking freezing cold with the sign, not get paid for it, and walk around and just annoy people. I'll be at home. Let me know what happens. I'll reap the benefits, but I'm not going to fucking be part of this revolution.
You have
I'm not going to be on the front
slave
lines.
mentality.
How is that slave mentality?
Because you just think about this, right? The reason why they're there picketing, right, is because they want higher wages,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're trying to gain something, right? You're not interested in trying to gain anything.
No. I am very interested, but I'm not going to be
Work
on the
for
front.
it.
I'm not
Work for
I'm not
it.
going to be on the front line.
Work for
I'm
it.
not going to be on the fucking front line
You're
outside
not
with a
gonna
fucking
work for it.
sign, walking around like a jackass.
You're gonna be like, look, I'm just gonna sit home. You guys try to win it. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I
If
don't.
I don't care
would
if
you
I
go to
lose
war?
my job.
If you, would you? Why don't you sign up for the war?
I would go to war if there was a reason to go to war.
What's that reason, though?
What's
Is
that
it
reason?
Because of something that you believe in, or...
Do you want to protect the country?
Well, I mean, the only real reason to go to war is if we have to defend our country. You know, if my family's threatened because China's coming over here and trying to kill everyone, right? I'm going to war.
Okay.
Why China?
Well, I'm just as an example.
I'm just messing up.
As an example, if that's not a shot at you, $2, love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way I would be in war is if there was a legitimate reason, and that's the one thing I struggled with because when I got out of high school, I signed up for some college classes and I talked to the Marines, I talked to everyone. They all came to my house, every branch of the government, right? And the Air Force paid the most money, so that's what I was interested in the most. And I just was like, I had this feeling that, like, if I were to go in, that there would immediately be a war, right? And this is around 2000. I graduated, like, in 2001.
I
right?
know exactly what you mean. It's almost like the firefighters that don't want fires to happen.
So,
you know?
So I graduated in 2001. So think about that. Graduation is in June of 2001. I'm meeting with all these people, right? I'm having the most amazing summer of my life trying to figure out what I'm going to do, right? September rolls around. Bam, 9/11.
What an inconvenience.
You know what I mean? And this is like, I was right there, dude, probably a month beforehand. I had to make this decision whether or not I was going to join the Air Force or not, and I didn't. So, you know, bam, I didn't get stuck in a war.
What's going on with the battery there?
The battery's getting weak.
Oh, sorry.
The battery's a little weak and it might cut out. This has been a long show.
Yeah.
This has been a really long show, and we've had a great guest. I think we should do an epic freestyle. Blade, you got to jump in.
I'm not jumping in. I don't. Just like I don't argue politics because I'm not educated enough. I'm not gonna waste a beat.
You got to say
talking over.
Well,
it.
then
I
Do
think
the chill
you.
commentary.
I think you should. I think you should rap about videos not publishing on YouTube. Go.
all right, but you got to say swag when it's your turn.
Just
All right, go.
just swag.
Go.
Swag. Swiggy, swag.
Yo, you're a freaking noob. You need to post my videos on YouTube. They ain't posting. I ain't getting money. This ain't a joke, bitch. You know that ain't funny.
Swag.
Yeah, we coming freaking back. So hard, you'll have a heart attack.
Swag.
Yeah, and we about to beat that ass. Don't fuck with the Bad Kid Cast.
Swag.
Yeah, keep on going. And we keep on rowing. Gently down the stream. Hashtag on the team. Keem. But
Swag.
you ain't publishing. No. But you ain't publishing.
Nope.
No. But you ain't publishing.
Nope.
No. You're messing with my money, fro.
Your money, fro.
I couldn't think of what.
Your money. No. Think of the
couldn't-
visual image of that, of like you with a pick, just picking out your money, fro.
Money, fro.
Your money, fro. Just coins dropping like dandruff out of your money, fro.
Then you can call me a real money whore.
That was the Bad Kid Cast, guys. We have to end it on money, fro.
Make sure you check out our sponsors, the links in the description, and make sure you subscribe to the So Close to Toast. Let's get this motherfucker to 500,000. Epic trolls, beatboxing, a lot of cool stuff. This dude has been my friend for a really long freaking time, and he's the most genuine motherfucker I know. Well, actually, you two are. You two are like my favorite peoples on the YouTube, so
Bam.
check him out.
Thanks for having me.
Peace.
And bam.
Bam. This dude said.